Have you ever really looked down at your plate and wondered about the centuries of history just sitting there? Today, we're going to dive into the incredible story of Bengali food. It's a cuisine that's been shaped by mighty rivers, powerful empires, and even, revolutions. So let's dig in and uncover what's really on the plate. Our journey actually starts with this really powerful memory. It comes from a food blogger who's trying to connect with his heritage, and he shares the story from his grandfather about the 1947 partition of Bengal. I mean, just imagine that. Someone draws a line on a map, and overnight, millions of people, including your own family, are displaced. It's such a heavy reminder that food is never just fuel, is it? It's memory, it's family, it's who we are. And that connection is what kicks off this whole quest for him. He decides to try and recreate a meal from all the way back in the 16th century with only ancient texts to guide him. So we're going to use his personal kitchen experiment as our lens to explore the incredible, layered history of what people in this part of the world have been eating for thousands of years. Okay, so to understand Bengali food today, we've got to go right back to the beginning, back to its most basic, fundamental building blocks. So what did that ancient plate even look like? Let's find out. You know, this proverb, it says it all, really. For thousands of years, life in the Bengal Delta, a land with over 700 rivers, has revolved around these two things, fish and rice. This isn't just some cute saying. It's a prehistoric identity that was forged by the landscape itself, long before any modern borders were ever drawn. And when we look at the actual evidence from around the 11th century, something fascinating pops out. Early texts and even old terracotta art show a diet that was packed with rice, fish, wild greens, even game. Ghee, that's clarified butter, was a clear sign of wealth. But look closely at what's missing. One of the biggest staples today, dal, lentils, is nowhere to be found. And it turns out the rivers provided so much fish that people just didn't really need pulses for protein back then. So that ancient plate was a direct reflection of the land. But as you can imagine, things don't stay the same forever. New ideas and new empires were on their way, and they were bringing some transformative new tastes with them. You can really see the new layers getting added right here. First up, in the 15th century, a Hindu devotional movement called Vaishnavism starts to encourage vegetarianism, and boom, all of a sudden, dal becomes absolutely essential. Then, the Mughal rulers arrive, bringing with them this incredibly rich, aromatic, meat-heavy cuisine from the Persian courts. And finally, in the 16th century, Portuguese traders show up with a technique that is going to completely change the game for Bengali sweets. So, what was it? What was this game-changing technique that they brought with them? Okay, get this. The answer is chhana. Now, this is wild. Before the Portuguese, curdled milk was actually considered spoiled or impure in the local Hindu tradition. But the Portuguese introduced the method of using acid, like lemon juice, to deliberately curdle milk and create fresh cheese. This single innovation was nothing short of a revolution. It basically unlocked the door to all those soft, spongy, milk-based sweets that Bengal's so famous for today. We're talking about Rosogolla and Sandesh. And this brings us right back to our blogger in his kitchen. He was trying to make a pre-chhana sweet called shorbaja. So he had to do it the old way, just slowly reducing a liter of milk, scraping the cream solids from the side of the pan. The result, after 3.5 grueling hours, just enough to fit in the palm of his hand. It's an incredible way to see just how much of a game changer that Portuguese technique really was. But the Portuguese didn't just bring new techniques. They, along with other European traders, basically opened the door to a whole new global pantry, bringing ingredients that would, well, change everything all over again. Just think about a typical Bengali curry for a second. Can you even imagine it without chilies? Without potatoes or tomatoes? It's almost impossible, right? But believe it or not, none of these existed in Bengal before the 16th century. They all came from the Americas as part of what we call the Columbian Exchange, and they totally transformed the taste of the region forever. So how did they cook before chilies? Well, that spicy heat came from things like black pepper and a native long pepper called pipali. But the chili pepper, it was a total game changer. It was super easy to grow in the tropical climate, and it delivered this intense heat for a very low cost. It was so effective that it just completely took over, becoming the new source of fire in the Bengali kitchen. So, we've seen the ancient foundations and all these incredible layers of influence. But how does this all come together on the modern plate? What actually defines a Bengali meal today? Well, one of the most unique things is the structure. See, unlike a lot of other South Asian cuisines where everything is served at once, a traditional Bengali meal is served in courses. It's designed to be a journey of flavors. You start with something bitter, like shukto, to cleanse the palate. Then you move through greens, lentils, the main fish or meat dish, then a sweet and sour chutney to reset everything, and only then do you finally arrive at dessert. It's a whole story told in a single meal. And sometimes a single dish can tell an entire nation's story. Take Panta Ilish. It's fermented rice paired with fried Hilsa fish. For centuries, this was just the simple, practical breakfast of farmers. But after Bangladesh gained its independence in 1971, this humble meal was elevated. It became a powerful symbol of the new nation's identity, a way for people to celebrate their deep connection to the land and their riverine peasant roots. So, the story of Bengali food is really a journey through time, from ancient riverbanks to the courts of emperors to the galleys of trading ships. And it really makes you think, doesn't it? Every single dish we eat has a story like this. So the next time you sit down for a meal, just ask yourself, what global journeys, what forgotten revolutions are hidden right here on your plate?